of the 2019 ICF Canoe Slalom World Cup. The 5-race series culminates over the course of this weekend with double points up for grabs to determine who will be crowned the 2019 ICF Canoe Slalom World Cup winner. Well, 244 athletes racing this weekend from 36 different countries. And well, we're here on this great course on the Vltava River that flows through the centre of Prague. And well, this artificial course here, there's a great shot of it from an aerial. It's an old logging channel converted in 1983 into a whitewater course. Not the steepest on the circuit, but certainly presents a tight testing challenge. 25 gates will separate the athletes. 6 red and white upstream gates and the rest downstream gates. And our course designers Mark Delaney and Marianne Aguilon have set the challenge for our athletes. Weather, well, deteriorated a bit from earlier on in the week. The rain is falling, but as you can see, a loyal crowd here looking forward to some Czech success. And first of all, we are into the men's canoe final. Then it'll be the women's kayak final. Myself, Andy Maddock, will bring you all the action, and alongside me, joining me again, it is the bronze medalist from the Under-23 World Championships in 2019 from the Irish team, Liam Jagou. Welcome, Liam.
Thanks for having me again.
And here are the standings. As you see, the standings of the World Cup after 4 races, it is Slovenia's Luka Božič who is leading the standings, and it is also Luka Božič who will lead us off in this final. 10 boats qualified through from the semi-final, and this is the order. Benjamin Samsek, the fastest for Slovenia. He'll go off last.
Yeah, we're set up for a very exciting final. A lot of champions in there on a very interesting course design here in Prague. Very challenging. I'm excited to see how it goes down.
Well, here's some of the stats from the semi-finals. You can see there were quite a few penalties. That was a real feature. That tricky offset sequence, 8 downstream gates offset on the course in a row, created a lot of problems for the athletes. And well, we've got overall 6 nations in this 10-boat final, 3 Slovaks, 2 Polish and Slovenian paddlers, and then paddlers from Great Britain, Russia and France. But we're underway with the World Cup leader after 4 races. For Slovenia, Luka Božič is on course.
Yeah, Luka Božič has been looking incredible this year. He's definitely the on-form C1m paddler of the season for me. He's been incredibly consistent on all the World Cups. He's leading the World Cup, World Cup rankings at the moment. He's off to a good start. Nice into gate 4. He's heading into the crucial section of the course. He's offsets from 5 to 11. I think there's going to be a lot made here. You can lose a lot. It's really the crucial part of the course.
Well, already he's got a clear lead in the World Cup standings, as we were saying, and well, what a consistent season so far. He's made all 5 World Cup finals. He's had a 2nd, a 3rd, a 4th, a 9th, and then whatever comes out of this race. So I think he's going to be a hard one to beat in the overall World Cup standings. But well, we'll have to wait and see. Double points up for grabs.
He's looking good. He's not doing anything crazy, but he's keeping the speed on the boat, staying in the middle of the gates. Yeah, it's looking pretty good, looking like a good run. And as an indication from the semi-final, obviously the semi-final, the first time these athletes have paddled down the course, under 100 seconds was good enough to take the win, but that was only done by one person. That was Benjamin Samsek of Slovenia. So to take the gold, maybe under 100, but that'll get you around the podium in 100 seconds. But a 2-second penalty on 19 for Luka Božič. Otherwise, a really tidy run coming together. 2-second penalty on 19. He was also down on this morning's semi-final split by 2 seconds, so I think he's going to be quite out of this morning's winning times.
So 1:03.42 for Luka Božič of Slovenia. So it's a 1:01 time.
There is an asterisk on the touch though, so we'll see what the video judges will say about that. Because 1:01 is decent enough time.
Well, 1:01 would have been good enough to medal on the semi-finals. We'll have to wait and see whether people stack it up or whether people make a few more mistakes by taking a few more risks on this tight, turny course. And the asterisk you referred to, Liam, just to explain that's asterisk appear on the results as they come in, just confirms that the effectively the result is still provisional, just whilst the video judges check the any penalties or any question marks on the gate, and I can confirm already that Luka Bozic, the asterisk has gone. His result stands 103.42. That is the time that the others have to beat. So the crowd here a little bit subdued because no Czech boat in this 10-boat final. That must be a first for a while.
Yeah, I reckon that hasn't happened in a while. Not having Stanislav Jacek in the finals or Thomas Rack. Those guys usually in Prague are almost untouchable, and not to have them in the final today is a real shame.
Well,
such is the sport.
The Czechs have something to look forward to in the women's kayak final that follows, because 2 Czech boats are in that final. So next up on course for Poland, it is Kasper Stuber, who is 4th at the Under-23 World Championships, finished just behind you, Liam, in those Under-23 Worlds.
Yeah, very, very close race that was. Kasper's been looking incredible this year. He was so close to the finals in London. He wasn't far off in Po, I think. He really has been paddling great. He's a very young paddler. He's definitely going to take the fight to Grigor Hedvig, who we'll see right after him for the Olympic selections.
Well, let's have a look. He's up on Luka Bozic of Slovenia, but rejected on that move. A run from 12 to 13. No penalties, but he will pay a price on the clock.
He's lost a lot of time there.
You can just see the bows buried. He committed to the move, and well, I thought it was good recovery there, considering what could have happened. But we'll have an indication of how much time that's cost.
He's lost a lot of time there, low on the upstream. He's lost a lot of energy as well, paddling back up for those two upstream gates. He's going to pay for that at the end of the course.
So through 19, now through 20, then into the upstream right, 21. 25 gates on this course, 6 upstream gates and 19 downstream gates. Well, his time 2.44, so it shows that he is still on a good run, but he's
completely lost his edge there. Great save though to get that gate.
Wow, that's but it's slipping away, unfortunately, for Kasper Stuber of Poland, and well, he's kept it clean, but he's going to be around about 3 or 4 seconds down on Luka Bozic of Slovenia as he comes into the finish.
He made some very pricey mistakes, but the rest of the run there was some really fast stuff. It's a shame, yeah.
Well,
three big mistakes that really cost him all that time.
Yeah, respectable performance there for the young Polish paddler Kasper Stuber, and yeah, it may not be at the top of the leaderboard at this stage, but it's still great experience in a World Cup senior final.
First World Cup, I believe. World Cup final.
Certainly, yes. So every step is a learning curve, and there we have it. The grandstands are full here in Prague, in the Czech Republic, ready for, well, the culmination of this final. And I'm really excited about this final, because we got a real big battle between some big guns here, and including the 3 Slovakian boats. Still, you can always guarantee they'll put their own little battle in.
A very exciting race within the race. Last week we had the Germans fighting for Olympic selection, and now we have the Slovaks. All 3 of them in the finals, and they always deliver when they're in the finals, so very excited to see what happens here. We could very well see a Slovak gold medal here. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, I think, yes, if you were a betting person, then that would be probably, well, with 3 in the final, that would be a good starting point. But let's have a look. Here's Gregor Hedrigar next to start for Poland, who has been really fast on occasions this season. Never managed to repeat it in the final, but we know he's capable of doing this. And, well, if he could put one run down here, he just tightens the screw on those still to come. And, well, just a bit sticky in 4.
Didn't nail the 2 upstreams there, but it's not too bad. This is where the race is going to be won and lost, in these offsets. Well, we're looking a bit too safe there. Oh,
yeah, and well, he's having to react to it. 1.34 down, but I suspect there's a bit more time lost there, and a penalty picked up on the downstream gate 8. Well,
it's going to cost him.
We saw how significant penalties were in the semi-final. We lost a few big names there. We lost David Florence, 2-time world champion in that semi-final. Ryan Wesley, the first in the heats, the fastest boat. He went out. There were some big surprises there.
Very surprised not to see the 3 British boats in the finals, especially given that they've really prepared this race, and usually that when they prepare a race, they deliver. Well,
he's 1.96 down, which, given that he's got a 2-second penalty, shows he has got the pace. And Luka Bozic is still at the top of the leaderboard and still looking like he will hold on to that advantage. But Gregor Hedvig of Poland still taking the charge and still running the boat nicely on the bottom part of the course. You were saying earlier, Liam, just how hard this finish sprint is. It seems to go on forever.
Yeah, it really does, especially if your run hasn't gone to plan and you have 10 second sprint when your arms are already burning. Well, it's not easy. He's really close, only 0.41 off the lead with a touch, and
so he's closed it right down there. And but it is second place for Gregor Hedvig. Still Luka Bozic, the World Cup's leader after 4 races. So there we see the crowd eagerly watching as this men's C1 final here in Prague really starts to unfold. 3 boats down, 7 boats to go, and we've got some big names to go. And next up will be the Olympic champion from Rio 2016, who's finally got his season back on track with a final, his first final of the 2019 international season.
Finally, very excited to see what Denny can do here. We haven't seen him in the finals all year, which is very surprising given the C1 paddler that he is and the amount of medals he has in World Cups and World Championships. So I'm curious to see how he fares in this final.
Here he is, Denis Gargaud-Canoe, the Olympic champion from Rio, the world champion from 2011. So he's pretty much won everything there is, but he will be hungry to go and defend his title in Rio. And this is part of their selection process for the French team. And Denis sets off through the first couple of gates on this course into the double upstream gate 3 and 4.
Yeah, he'll be eager to get back into the Olympic race against Thomas Martin here, get some good points before heading to CO, where everything's going to be to play for.
Yeah, so Denis, the only French boat in this final. So yeah, as you say, Liam, has the opportunity to make a difference, get some valuable points and keep himself in the mix as they go into the World Championships.
He's up on the split there, doing pretty well in those offsets. Nothing exceptional, but he's keeping the boat running. He's picked up a touch on gate 11, unfortunately.
So far, only Kasper Stuber of Poland is clean after the 25 gates. And we saw that a bit on the semi-final. But Denis Gargaud-Canoe, he looks unfazed by that mistake, and he still looks like he's really in tune with the water on this run.
Another touch has been added in gate 8, unfortunately. Those offsets claiming another victim, unfortunately. It's a shame because he's right in that race without those touches, but +4 might be a little bit too much.
Well, that's the nature of this technical course, and we know that to paddle fast here in Prague, then intimacy with the poles is the name of the game. And, that comes with a risk, and we're seeing some of those risks when it comes 2 touches, 4 seconds penalties added onto your time. And Denis Gargaud-Canoe of France won't take it into the race lead. It is Luka Bozic of Slovenia who will hold on for now. And into 3rd place for Denis Gargaud-Canoe. Well done, Denis. Great to see you back in a final. And, 3 weeks' time, we'll be into those World Championship finals and semi-finals. You can follow that live on Planet Canoe. And certainly, Olympic qualifiers, a great race in contest. How are you going to prepare, Liam, for the World Championships between now and then?
I'm going to mostly rest. This year has been it's been a very long year, a lot of training done, a lot of time spent in SEO. So the job's done pretty much, just staying fresh and getting to that start line without any injuries and feeling confident.
It's interesting, how hard is it to stay fresh? How hard is it to not go training at that time?
It is pretty hard because you want to, obviously I'm in love with the sport, I just want to go training all the time. But when you're racing, you want to stay fresh enough for for races. You got to put in your physical sessions obviously around races, but for me it's just not to paddle too much really.
Well, great. There we are, the crowd here. Yeah, slightly dampened by the rain, but eagerly anticipating the culmination of this final, and of course the women's K1 final that follows on. So the Russian Federation represented in this final by Kirill Setkin, and he has the opportunity really to get a personal best result here, doesn't he? Because so far the paddlers down have not put the bar too high. No,
the times haven't gone too low so far. I'm expecting the win to be around 99 or 98 compared to what we had this morning. So I think there's room for an outsider to come and win this World Cup, even though Kirill isn't really an outsider for me. If you're in the final, you're not an outsider. I think it's anyone's game here.
Well, this is the critical section. He's up on the split. That's what is required, and he's keeping it composed. Looks like he's staying ahead of the game. Now this critical move, 12 to 13, and beautifully done into the upstream 13.
Keeping the boat speed a little bit slow on the exit, not losing too much time.
So the Russian team generally train in, around Europe, around Western Europe. Po is a popular spot for them. I know they've spent a bit of time in Nottingham in Great Britain in the summer, and just keeping the balance right between training and racing.
Yeah, Kira's is right on that first time there. He's only point 49 down on the split, so he's definitely up there.
Well, this is going to determine, can he get in? Because if he can find that half a second deficit, if he can get inside Luka Bozic, then he's going to set himself really a chance of getting in that top five.
Nicely done. If he can get the sprint right, get the timing in the way as well, he can take the lead.
So the time to beat, 103.42. It's going to be really close, and surely he's going to take the race lead. He does indeed by nearly a second. Well done. Kirill Setkin of the Russian Federation goes into the race lead at the halfway point. Well, no, it's not quite. Yeah, halfway point in this final. So Kirill Setkin leads ahead of Luka Bozic of Slovenia, Gregor Hedvig of Poland. That is the top five at the moment.
That was a strong run by Kirill. I think the times are going to go faster than that, but you never know. There can be mistakes on a challenging course like this. That could be a medal run.
Well, 102.43 is the time to beat, and Russia's Kirill Setkin has certainly set that pace, and will give him a chance to get his breath back. But hopefully, we'll get a quick word with him at the halfway point in this final before we go into the sharp end of the final, where we will see 3 Slovak boats in the remaining 5 paddlers. We'll see Adam Burgess, who won silver here in the European Championships last year, and of course the world champion from 2017, Benjamin Savcek of Slovenia. So some big names still to come, and there are those Slovak fans preparing for the next competitors on the course, and of course Mikhail Mardikan will be in this final. Here is the classification at the halfway point. Kirill Setkin there, leading for the Russian Federation, ahead of Luka Bozic, who is leading the World Cup standings, and actually that performance is putting him right in the mix for the World Cup. But down to the finish, I think we can grab a word with the current race leader.
So we're halfway through the final. Luka Bozic currently sitting second, but you came into this as the World Cup leader. How are you feeling, Luka?
Yeah, before the race I feel great. Now I'm a little bit tired, but still I'm satisfied with today's run in the final because I improved from semi-final. So I'm really happy for this, but I have one touch, so I don't think so that this is going to be enough for the podium.
Thanks, Luka.
Well, obviously, Kirill Setkin's still getting his breath back at the bottom. It's a big ask to go straight from a run, especially on a physical course like here in Prague, and then do an interview. But Luka Bozic here we see in shot, World Cup leader after the first 4 races, and with that performance, surely will take enough points and double points to retain that World Cup lead.
Surely, yeah. Great season for him. He's really paddled very, very well. And excited to see what he can do in SEO at World Championships. He won a World Cup there last year, so he can definitely paddle very well there.
So the World Cup standings at the moment, it's Luka Bozic 187 points, Matej Benos 169 points. He's actually up next, and then Alexander Slavkovsky still to come, 161 points. And 120 points is the maximum is available. Matej Benos now, Olympic silver medalist from Rio 2016, is on course now, and hugely powerful paddler, very, very consistent, and not only racing for World Cup points here, but racing to well, go and defend that medal in the Olympic Games in Tokyo, because there's the internal battle for position. The jostling happens, and we saw that last weekend when Alexander Slavkovsky won World Cup 4 and made a real statement out there of intent.
It's always incredible to see them racing against each other for Olympic selection, because all three of them can win the Olympics.
Well, this is looking really good for Mate Benos, really attacking. He was half a second up on the split, and well, a bit sticky in 13, lost a bit of time, but he certainly looks like he's found the rhythm. He's really working in harmony with the white water. He's tight on the upstream 16, and Benos is building his advantage.
He's putting down a great run here. He'll be up on the split, I reckon. Definitely far up on the split.
All right, 1.5 seconds nearly up. Mate Benos now is in the kind of territory to get towards under 100 seconds. That's where you know you're going to be on the podium, and will it be enough to make a gold medal?
2 more gates here. I don't think he doesn't have to do too much to put down a great time. Well, he'll have no problems in that last sprint. He's a TR world champion.
Here we go. Mate Benos now racing for 120 points in this World Cup final. It's going to be outside the 100, but it's just outside, into the first place, and Mate Benos has put down the run now. 100.26. We know there is a faster time possible, but in the final and in this kind of technical course, then Mate Benos has put himself in a prime spot there.
It's definitely good for a medal, I think. It was a really good run. He was really powerful in one of his strokes, keeping the speed on the boat. What can I say? Yeah, well done.
Well, at the moment in the World Cup standings, then there's 2 places between him and Luka Bozic. So if we were taking it as it stands, then that's 10 points. That's 20 points, because it's double points. So as it stands, that does mean that Mate Benos would go ahead of Luka Bozic. But still a few more paddlers to go, yeah. And that's the situation as it stands at the moment. So I suppose we could call Mate Benos the virtual World Cup winner of 2019. But, well, here's a man who can change it too. Let's wait and see what this guy can do, especially on a course design like this. Mardigan really thrives on difficult course designs, on tricky offsets, in places like Prague, and I think this course design is made for him. Yep, he was quick in the semi-final. He had a 2-second penalty which put him down, but Mikhail Martican, 5-time Olympic medalist, including 2 gold medals, 4-time world champion, 4-time European champion. He's won everything there is to win, and this season he has really rediscovered that form, but he's taken an early penalty. He was very slow on 3 and 4 there, uncharacteristically. He's going to have to really pick it up towards the end, because on the split he's going to be far back. Well, 3.5 seconds now, so a little bit down on time as well as that penalty. But Mikhail Martican, certainly you wouldn't tell that he's not had the best top section, because he's absolutely committing to this run. A bit low in that upstream, but with the punt he managed to have some fast gate speed, exit speed, so gained a little bit of time there. Tight on 16, so Mikhail feels like he's fighting for it a little bit too much here. He's a left-handed paddler. He'll be urged on by the crowd. The grandstand's full here in the drizzle in Prague, and you can see just the support that's there and just how close you get to the river here and the atmosphere it creates. But he's low in 21. He's lost a lot of time there. Mate Benos there was very, very fast off the back of the stopper. So I don't think it's going to be Mardigan's date, unfortunately. 3.3, the deficit. It was between gate 18 and 19, and it's a good upstream on 24, but too little too late, I think. And it's damage limitation for Mikhail Martican as he sprints through the last gate, digs deep, and into 5th place, 104.04. And that includes a 2-second penalty, but it is Mate Benos of Slovakia who continues to lead ahead of Kirill Setkin of the Russian Federation and Luka Bozic of Slovenia in 3rd. There he is, Mate Benos. Well, not long to wait now, just 3 boats to go. Yeah, Mardigan seemed to be just pushing way too hard. He was quite offline on the whole course, and it just wasn't happening for him today. So yeah, by my reckoning, it is still Mate Benos who is our virtual race leader in terms of the World Cup overall standings. That is provisional, but if the results stay as they are, Mate Benos would take the World Cup by just a couple of points over Luka Bozic of Slovenia. So still Adam Burgess, Alexander Slavkovsky and Benjamin Savsek to go. The fastest three from the semi-finals here in Prague. Great shot of this whitewater course, and really quite a straight course, and certainly in training, you mentioned in the semi-finals we had about 120 gates out or something like that. It's quite hard to remember the courses you've set.
Yeah, it is, and you always tend to set courses that are way too hard because there's just so many gate combinations you can do. It's really fun. Like I reckon the Czechs are never bored here, and I'm certainly never bored training here. So,
well, on course, Adam Burgess for Great Britain, the 2015 Under-23 World Champion. He was a silver medalist at the European Championships last year here on this course, and well, the only British boat in this final.
Beautifully done off the back of the stopper there. Adam's a very, very smooth paddler. In offsets like this, he can be very fast. I think there was a lot of time for him, the time to be won for him compared to his semi-final run. I thought he was playing it very safe, and so I'm excited to see what he can do here with while taking a bit more risks.
Well, he's in touch at the split, 0.95 down, so a little bit of work to do, but there is a 2 second gap between first and second at the moment, so it's all to play for a place on the podium. Yeah, this is where the fatigue starts to come in. This is where these double upstream, well, gate 16 and gate 21, so critical to get in tight, but also to re-accelerate on the exit.
He's going to be down on the split, but not by a lot. He can definitely get that back in the last upstreams if he nails this one. Oh, he's a little bit stuck in the upright.
Well, here he goes, coming down the bottom drop. A second down on race leader Mate Benos of Slovakia. Adam Burgess for Great Britain sets up into the last upstream gate. Has the opportunity to go super tight and gets that move there. And it will literally be down to his energy reserves now as he battles for a place on the podium. He's outside the race lead, but is this going to take it into second place? It does. Adam Burgess goes into second place for Great Britain. And, well, he'll be pleased with that performance there. And it is still Mate Benos leading for Slovakia. Adam Burgess for Great Britain. He has an asterisk by his name, so we'll just wait for that to be cleared. That means that there's still a video review going on. And, wow, a 2-second penalty picked up from Adam. I just confirm on the downstream gate 8. So late penalty has gone on. And that has dropped him from second down to 6th place for Adam Burgess, unfortunately there. So it is still Mate Benos leading, Kirill Setkin in second for the Russian Federation, and then Luka Bozic of Slovenia in third.
That's a very fast top. He lost some time in the last 2 upstreams, unfortunately. He came in a little low in the last upright and didn't quite get the punt the way he wanted to get it, and then came in a little bit too tight into the up left and lacked a little bit of exit speed out of that gate upstream.
So that's a good example of just how tight the margins are, aren't they, in terms of that 2-second penalty. Drops Adam from second through to 6th. But here is the man of the moment from last weekend. He's the reigning World Cup champion of 2018. He's won in Markkleeberg in Germany last weekend. Alexander Slavkovsky is on course for Slovakia. He knows what he's got to beat, 100.26 to, well, certainly to finish ahead of the other 2 Slovak paddlers in this final. And he's looking very smooth, as you would expect with Alexander's style.
Excellent start to the run. Great cross into gate 4. He's a man of the big occasions. He always delivers. So I'm excited to see what he can do here. He's missed gate 410.
Oh, surely that's, well, a 2-second penalty, but also it means, compounded with the time loss, it's all over for Alexander Slavkovsky here, low into 13. Now he's got to recompose himself because there are World Cup points up for grabs, and whilst I think that's him out of contention for taking the overall World Cup victory, it is about holding it together, but he has 2 touches now.
He had such a great start to the run, but then just cut the line a little bit too tight, and unfortunately fell off the line and missed gate 10. Had to go paddle it back up and get it again.
Well, we might well see the penalty review very shortly. We'll have to wait and see, but penalties are reviewed live throughout the run, so that where possible, the penalties are finalised either before they've even finished, or certainly moments after the finish line. But Alexander Slavkovsky, unfortunately on this occasion, is not going to get a back-to-back win after his win last weekend in Markkleeberg, Germany. And it's just a case of where he is going to slot into the order. And down into the finish line, and it looks like his total is into 9th place, unfortunately. Alexander Slavkovsky of Slovakia means Matej Benus will finish as the top Slovak. But here we are. Here's the penalty review. This is where, up to this point, it was all going well. Through 9 cuts the line, and then you don't actually see it there, but you can see the video judges that with multiple camera angles able to have a look at the
checking to see if his whole head went through gate 9. I think
it's gate 10 was the... You're right, there's scrutiny on gate 9, isn't it? 10 was where the problem was, but the scrutiny was also on gate 9. Straight lining it just a bit too much on this occasion.
Yeah, I think he wanted to cut the line. He had a great start to the run. He was 1.3 up on the split, I think, at that point in the courses, which is great. And yeah.
Well, the review is finished. No additional penalties added on. So Alexander Slavkovsky, though, in 9th place. So still, as it stands, Matej Benus will be the World Cup champion of 2019. But there's one person who might be able to spoil that party, and he's on course. It's Benjamin Savcek of Slovenia, the world champion of 2017, and he's the European champion of 2019.
There's one man that can go under 100, it's him. He's one of the fastest paddlers out there. Look at that, oh, beautiful. Nicely done off the top of the stopper.
Effortless there on the upstream gate 4, but
Really
a touch picked up on the downstream gate 6. So Matej Benus is looking comfortable for the race win now, surely. Benjamin Savcek was the only person under 100 seconds in the semi-final, but he's low into 13 as well. And the split time, well, he's adrift 1.42, so he has absorbed a bit of that penalty.
You can never count Benjamin Savcek out, though. I think he once medalled at the World Cup with +6, which is unheard of. I don't think anyone's ever done that. So I don't think he's too worried now. He's just pushing. Look at that. He's already made some time up.
So 0.41. So he is still in this race. But again, just low on 21. You could see he got the jump nicely, put his edge down, and now he's taking a penalty.
Just got caught on that front edge. He really tried to re-accelerate the boat, but it just didn't pay off this time.
Well, you can see just what a class paddler he is because of, he had that early mistake, but he came back fighting and was right back in the mix. But now, not really with that extra penalty. It's going to be outside. It's going to be Matej Benus of Slovakia who takes the gold medal here at the World Cup final. And Kirill Setkin for the Russian Federation takes the silver medal. That's a personal best for him.
Excellent result there for Kirill. Very happy for him.
Luka Bozic of Slovenia takes the bronze. And there we have it. That's the top 3. And provisionally, by my calculations, and that's a bit on the back of an envelope, then it would be that it is Matej Benus of Slovakia who takes the 2019 World Cup title ahead of Luka Bozic. But we'll get confirmation of that very shortly. So Matej Benus takes gold here in Prague ahead of Kirill Setkin and Luka Bozic.
Well, here we have the winner. What an outstanding run today, Matej. You haven't done one of those for a long, long time.
Yeah, I had a pretty good run. I'm so happy because it's our Olympic selections, and this my winning run was very important for me.
And we believe you may have also locked away the World Cup title this year. Is that important for you?
Actually, it was the second thing. I didn't think about the overall World Cup. I was thinking only about our Olympic selections, and I won this race, the World Cup final, and overall World Cup. So I'm so happy now.
Alexander won last week. You win this week. It's pretty tight for you guys.
Yeah, and there is still Michal Martikan behind us. So it'll be very interesting in Seoul.
Congratulations, Matej.
Thank you very much.
So tight racing. Here is confirmation of the result. Matej Benos takes gold for Slovakia. 5 different winners across the 5 World Cup races this season, such as the competition. Kirill Setkin of the Russian Federation takes silver, Luka Bozic in bronze. Then, as was just picked up in that interview, Michal Martikan still in the mix, Alexander Slavkovsky of Slovakia. What a final. And it is Matej Benos who takes the honours and, probably gets the momentum going into the World Championships, which is so significant for every nation.
Great consistency shown by Luka Bozic over the whole season. Worlds are going to be something special, I think, this year.
That's a good point. Credit where credit's due. Luka Bozic, 5 finals from 5 races, super consistent. Well, Michal Martikan, it looks like he's the one that now is under pressure to produce something at the World Championships. We've seen a gold from Alexander, and we've seen a gold from Matej, and we've seen Michal coming into form, but he's got to find it. He's got to get onto that top spot.
I think he placed second in the Slovaks last week in Leipzig, so I think he's back against the wall now. He has to win. He has to be the first Slovak in the World Championships in Seoul.
Well, there we have it. That is the World Cup standings, and it is Matej Benos on the back of that win who takes it from Luka Bozic by just 2 points. And it is then Michal Martikan takes the 3rd place in the overall World Cup standings. The defending champion Alexander Slavkovsky of the World Cup from 2018 in 5th place, and significant result today in that final performance.
And another World Cup medal for Michal Martikan, which adds to his medal tally.
Well, it's not over yet, because we are straight into the women's kayak standings. So myself, Andy Maddock, is on the commentary box, and thank you very much to Liam Chagou, who is leaving us now. Great insight as we've gone through this, and joining me back in the commentary box from the Australian teams, it's Tim Anderson. So a very warm welcome back to the commentary box, Tim. And here is the start list.
Yeah, really looking forward to this final. That was a pretty tense C1 final to watch. I enjoyed it a lot, so hopefully the K1 is just as good.
Well, I think we are again set for a good final here. Jessica Fox of Australia goes off last. She was the fastest in the semi-final, but well, let's not discount Mallory Franklin, because she set the fastest raw time in that semi-final and had 4 seconds of penalties. So at the moment we are all set. 3-minute intervals. The athletes go race in reverse order of the semi-final performance. And who's your favourite in this competition, Tim?
Oh, I mean, I really like to back in the Czech girls. They really have the potential to throw down super fast times here. So, the likes of Amalie Hilkatova really get up there. And then obviously with Mallory putting down that 103 raw time, if she can get that speed again, I don't think you'd be far off the podium for sure. I think if anyone can touch the 103, then they've done a really, really good run. So I'd say those are my 2 picks. But also, I mean, how can I not back in fellow Australian Jessica? She's got probably more finals experience than anyone.
Yeah, and she's really getting back into that consistency that we are so used to seeing with her, just as we go into the sharp end of the season. So 8 nations represented in this 10-boat final. We've got 2 Czech boats, 2 British boats, and then we've got a representative of Australia, Austria, Slovenia, Ukraine, Slovakia and Brazil. So first up though, the Czech crowd will be going wild because
Yeah.
it is the first of two Czech paddlers, Amelie Hilgertova, on course, the European champion at senior level earlier on this season, and a young up-and-coming paddler.
Yeah, she's had a good start as well. That was pretty awesome gate 3 and really smooth cross to gate 4. And that's almost perfect start to the run, I think. So she'll be right on it. It looks like, oh, she's going for forwards. Had to work that a little bit harder than maybe she would have liked.
Well, at the moment, it's looking like she's really in control. Composed through
Yeah.
10, keeping it clean now through 11, 12, and then we'll see how tight can she get into the upstream 13.
Whoa, really, really well done there. Really tightened up 13, just sliding a little bit out towards the wall, but I mean, that cross into the up was really fast. So this is so far one of the, probably looking like one of the best ladies kayak runs we've seen. Oh, a little bit low there as well.
So the Czech crowd going wild. This is what they've been waiting for. We had no Czech representatives in the men's C1 final, but this the opportunity to make up for it. 2 Czech representatives in this women's kayak final, and Amelie Hilgertova is setting a good pace for those still to follow.
She's lost. She's going to lose quite a little bit of time there from that cross. She just didn't quite push off the stopper and get that kick off the water, and had to use the limited energy reserves from the arms. So we'll see how that reflects in the final time. Really nice last upstream again.
So 1 gate to go now as she digs deep. Remember, 103.49 was the fastest raw time on the semi-finals. It's going to be outside of that. 107.78, it's a respectable time. Yeah. But in fact, 107.49 was good enough for a top 3 in the semi-finals. I suspect we're going to need to go quicker than that.
Yeah, I think probably a little bit quicker than that, but in a very respectable run. She just maybe would be a little disappointed that bottom section, losing a little bit of time in that cross, and they would have done that move hundreds of times here. But
well, Amelie Hilgertova has certainly given the Czech crowd something to cheer about, because she is a clean run, 107.78. That's definitely, in my opinion, good enough for a top 5.
Yeah.
And well, only the next 9 boats will reveal just where that actually ends up in the final reckoning.
We saw in the C1 final a lot more of the paddlers really like making some huge errors, but in pursuit of that really fast time. So it'll be interesting to see if the ladies are the same, because they were quite clean in the semi-final. We saw, I think it was 6 or 7 clean runs, with obviously the Mallory and then I think the last 2 boats in the final with penalties. So it'll be interesting to see if they're going a little bit closer to the poles, risking a little bit more.
Well, let's see. Next up, Kimberly Woods of Great Britain now, coming on the course. Now she was second in the heats, qualified through into the semi-finals, and then well, this is her opportunity in the final. Not as smooth on the top section as we saw from Hilgertova of the Czech Republic.
Oh, and a back off there. I don't think that would have been planned, but since she's gone forwards 7 to 8, so potentially absorbed a bit of that loss. She's roundabouts where Hilgertova was, so she's in touch, but she's going to have a good bottom section.
Well, this is the section that Hilgertova was best at, was the top part of the course. Yeah. This is where Kimberly Woods has the opportunity. If she can pin the moves, get tight into the upstream 21, she has the opportunity to challenge and reduce that deficit.
Whoa, really fast upstream there, just all on the sweep. Kim's really, she's got really good whitewater skills and can do some pretty amazing things in the boat, and that's reflected there. Look, she's up just almost exactly the same time.
So nothing to choose between the two as to go into the final 5 gates on the course. Of course, Kimberly hasn't raced that much this season, focusing on the World Championship preparation. She started off the season 4th at the Lee Valley World Cup and hasn't raced in the World Cup since.
Yeah, I didn't realise she hadn't done all those World Cup races, but it's pretty consistent, I guess. 2 finals from 2 starts.
Well, 107.78 is the time to beat. She's going to be well inside that until 106.13. Kimberly Woods takes the race lead, and well, she puts it out there. She is serious about being around the podium And, well, that would be good enough for a top 3 on the semi-finals, and we'll just have to wait and see. It seemed like a long, long wait for her.
Yeah, it was an impressive run. Really just held it together the whole way. Didn't have any big mistakes, and kept everything going, I guess, as not having to do any saves or anything like that, or anything super spectacular. So
it was interesting because she did have to be quite reactive at the top, didn't she? That 5, 6, 7 sequence, she clearly set up to take on gate 5 to 6 forwards, had to back it off, but kept her cool and kept it clean, and that's put her in a good position in the early stages of this 10-boat women's kayak final here from the Czech Republic. We're live in Prague, and the crowd very much eagerly anticipating still a Czech paddler to go, but this is the athlete that sits at the top of the standings after first 4 World Cup races of the season. K1w of Austria, 2-time world champion, and has at the moment a lead of 15 points in the World Cup standings.
Not a huge lead, given that it's double points as well. So, but I'm sure she won't be thinking about that. She'll just be going for the win here.
Absolutely. Yeah. Focus will be on this run. One run at a time. That's the way to do any competition. Take it step by step.
Yeah. Oh, she's taken that on forwards and just got a penalty, but still 0.27 up. So.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. I think the penalty may show in the next split, but K1w is on a good run, but sticky into 13.
Yeah, I think that came from gate 12. She wasn't quite far enough across, and then couldn't really use the stopper to kick her across. She had to use it just to stop her momentum. Oh no!
And that's the danger, isn't it? If you drop in the hole and you have to work, if you lean back as you work off the stopper, the bows lift up, and she takes a penalty on the upstream 16 with the bows of the boat. And K1w, 2-time world champion, World Cup leader, is leaving the door open, particularly to Jessica Fox and Eva Tersel, if we're actually looking at the World Cup standings, because they are still to come in this final, and she is beatable.
Yeah, the run time's looking pretty good though, so it's a little bit low there, so I think there's definitely not really a chance of a podium place today.
Well, 1:06.13 is the time of Kimberly Woods of Great Britain. Into third place for K1w, 110.27, and the World Cup leader after 4 races is now vulnerable to those still to come. Still very much in the mix for a top 3 in the overall World Cup, but for us that's an advantage. It brings that World Cup alive, particularly Eva Tersel sitting still to come. Has 165 points compared to 180 of K1w, and then Jessica Fox 158. Still very much they can snatch it, as we saw in the men's C1. That can happen.
Pretty awesome slow-mos seeing there. You can see just how tight that stagger is. Just should be really annoyed with those penalties, because they weren't, they were quite avoidable, some of them. So respectable run time, just 0.14 behind Kimberly Woods. So we know without those penalties.
So 3 boats down. Kimberly Woods leading for Great Britain, 1:06.13. Amalie Hilgertova of the Czech Republic in second. K1w of Austria in third. Next up, Victoria Us of the Ukraine, who, she was 12th at the Olympic Games in Rio in 2016, and she took a bronze medal in the World Cup earlier on this season. And, what can she do? She's really found some form just when it matters, really.
Yeah, you can see her bib number 20, so she isn't coming into this season, not a really top of the table kind of ranked paddler, but obviously it means nothing if you're paddling as well as she is at the moment. She seems to be right on form.
Well, 1.59 down, so she's in touch at the split.
Yeah, it's looking solid so far. That's a good setup there.
Nicely done into
really,
13.
Really well done. Maybe just losing her bow a little bit towards the end, dropping it down. Lost that pre-turn, but
well, she was a 1:0 1:08 on her semi-final run, and well, she's looking at like she's on that kind of pace again in this final.
A little deep and low in that up 16 as a result, probably of just getting stuck in the stopper a bit more, maybe than she would have liked, possibly losing a little bit of time.
Well, 1.98 now the deficit. So
oh, very nice. Oh, that was really fast. Beautiful cross from 20 to 21. That's how it should be done.
No, this is really exciting because this could well not necessarily challenge the race lead, but it could challenge second place. And Victoria Us of the Ukraine, great to see her
really performing
good last and finding time on the bottom section.
It's like
it's going to be a close run thing because she is outside the race lead time, but into third place, just outside of that second place. Victoria Us of the Ukraine, 1:07.97, and sneaks in just behind Amelie Hilgertova of the Czech Republic. But Kimberly Wood still leading ahead of Amelie Hilgertova, but Victoria Us, great performance there.
Yeah, faster again than her semi-final run, so she'd be happy with that, I think.
Oh yeah, the consistency is so important as well. So she backs it up with a good final. And, well, that'll give her a great boost going into the World Championships and the Olympic qualifiers.
Yeah, definitely will. She did that move particularly well. You can see how tight she was around 21, just the head, basically. After the top section, she was about 1.6 down, and she basically held that the whole way down, so really impressive racing from her.
Really impressive racing. So 4 down, 6 to go in this. The women's kayak finals will of course be live tomorrow with the men's K1 and the women's C1. Women's C1 semi-finals get underway at 9 o'clock Central European time, so you can follow that live on Planet Canoe. But here's a form boat at the moment for Slovakia, Eliska Mintalova. So she's a Junior World Championship silver medalist in 2017, but she's also a finalist at under 23 Euros and Worlds level in 2019, and really emerging onto the scene. 2 World Cup finals in 2019, and well, not quite the rhythm at the top of the course, but it's tidy.
Yeah, really tight on gate 3. That was a really nice sweep up. Given that's a super tricky up. There's not that much eddy to use, so I think she's done really well there to get through that, and now she's managed this stagger. Oh yes, she's up, just up.
So the only Slovak representative in this final, and this part of their Olympic selection process, as we've seen in the men's C1, still all to play for, and surely we're looking at a challenge to the race lead here, because Eliska Mintalova is absolutely cutting the lines fine. I heard you take a deep breath there, Tim.
Saw that edge wobble upstream, and I really thought for a second she was going down, but good save. Just really looking actually like super focused and on it at the moment.
She is indeed. 1.19 the advantage as she drops into the upstream 21 and gets it tight as well.
Yeah, not bad. Not as fast, I'd say, as Victoria Us, but probably one of the quicker ones we've seen so far.
So Eliska Mintalova now coming down as the virtual race leader into the upstream 24. She's got the good pace. Has she got the exit speed? It's going to be just a battle to the finish line, and surely this is going to be the new race lead. 1:06.13 is the time to beat, and she's going to take that surely into first place by just under half a second. Eliska Mintalova of Slovakia goes into the race lead at the halfway point in this 10-boat final.
What a run. That was really impressive. You know, just up a little bit on the first split and then a bit more on the second split. So, you know, she really even built more pace into the run as she went on. So that was really impressive.
You're right there, Tim. It was good the way she almost built into the run, didn't she?
Yeah.
And pacing is important. And there we see Kimberly Woods in the middle. Then on the left, Amelie Hilgertova, and of course Victoria Us on the right-hand side.
So far, it's a very youthful final. That top 3, they're all quite young paddlers. So that's pretty good to see for the sake of the sport, I guess, and the future of the sport.
Future's bright, and I always find it funny when we talk about Jessica Fox as sort of one of the legends of the sport. Well, she is only 25.
I know, it's very much
but
an anomaly, though, you know.
Well, we're just going to have a little bit of a break. This is the results at the halfway point in the women's kayak final, and down at the finish line we might be able to get a word with the the kiss and cry area and see who's down there.
Kimberly, currently sitting in second position. How did you feel about your run?
I think I was more relieved to just be in that final. You know, I had a really struggle in my semi-final run, but to put a clean run down, it's my first one of the weekend, and yeah, Aliska did a really good run, and yeah, I'm really excited to watch the rest of the girls put it down.
How are you feeling about your time? Do you think it's good enough to win a medal?
Probably not, but anything can happen in a final, especially on this course.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
So Kimberly Woods, well, she's not sure that it's good enough for a medal, and well, I guess if it isn't good enough, then we're in store for a
good racing
big treat.
Yeah. I mean, I would be expecting the likes of Mallory and Jess to sort of step it up even further from the semi to the final. That's a pretty trademark Jess Fox, you know. So if they can do that, yeah, we'll see some really fast racing, because we've already seen some runs that would be in the top 3 from the semi-finals. So yeah, we've been treated to some pretty good racing already.
So 5 boats still to go. Anna Satila of Brazil, Katarina Kuriev of Czech Republic, Mallory Franklin of Great Britain, Ava Tersel of Slovenia, and Jessica Fox of Australia. So at the halfway point in this women's K1 final, it's Aliska Mintalova who has the advantage. She's our race leader for Slovakia, 105.64. And well, it's only day 1 of semi-finals and finals. We'll be back tomorrow with the men's kayak and the women's canoe semi-finals and finals, and of course the Extreme Canoe Slalom World Championships will be live from Prague here at 4:30 Central European Time. But let's watch Anna Satila of Brazil, who's always a really exciting paddler and very capable of getting on top of the podium here.
She went out really hard there. I think one of the most aggressive sprints we've seen off the start. She really looks like she's trying to throw everything she's got at it. Quite a quick up 4 there. That was nice, really tidy, not super risky, but keeping it close to the poles.
Well, so far looks like she's really finding the lines here in front of a packed grandstand here in the Czech Republic, and she is indeed. 1.45 is her advantage at the moment. Now she's got to be tight into 13, and she
looks
is
good.
Right on it.
Yeah, nice. See, she didn't get a lot of speed off the hole, but she kept the angle of her boat pointing upstream, so you didn't have to use that much effort to get to turn in the ups. It was really close around the poles. So that was quite tight.
Yeah, good move on 16.
Yeah.
Now I think the split should show that she has at least maintained her advantage, if not extended it. Well, exactly the same.
Yeah.
So
comes down to this bottom section, I guess. It's not bad, but probably not as fast as Mintalova did it. So it's going to be close.
It is indeed, and Anna Satila, well, we know she's got the physical demands of this course covered. Can she just deliver the technical demands of this final upstream gate? It's going to be really tight. I'm sure we are looking at new race leader, surely. So. 105.64 is the time to beat, and Anna Satila of Brazil is charging at the finish line, and she's found something more into the race lead for Anna Satila. Well done, Anna. 103.98, and well, they're really finding some time on this final run.
It's that sub 104. I think that's the magic podium number potentially, but that's what a run.
Well, so that's faster than anyone managed in terms of total time in the semi-final. So those still to come, 4 boats still to come.
Pressure's right on.
Start to tighten up those, and Anna Satila not really in the final reckoning, I think, for the overall World Cup title, but it certainly will move her up potentially into the top 3 if she can hold on to that and take the race win here.
Yeah. Also, just getting a World Cup medal, regardless of the overall standings, is a massive achievement, and she'll be so happy with that. Regardless, I think, if the next 4 paddlers came down and beat her, she'd probably still be happy with how she performed, because that's Like, that is a really, really amazing run.
Well, we've had 4 different winners so far in this Women's Kayak World Cup season. Mallory Franklin started off the season, then it was Karina Kunle in World Cup 2, then it was Stephanie Horn, then it was Ricarda Funk. So who's going to win today?
Yeah. Are we going to have a different winner?
Katarina Kudryova of the Czech Republic is on course, the world champion of 2015, who is the home crowd. If they want a medal, then all eyes are on her.
Oh, taking a pretty a straight line to that gate, but really copying a lot of the stopper there. It's not necessarily very slow, but it can, bring you off your rhythm when you get a face full of water like that. So, just a slight penalty as well on gate 9.
Yeah, very tight on the pole. I did wonder if that was a penalty, and that's been confirmed. So Katarina Kudryova coming into the upstream 13. Well, absolutely leaving nothing on the river there.
It was centimetre perfect, that was. It was really tight, but she would have done that so many times. And that was really nice as well. So she's definitely chasing hard, but she's got a lot of work to do.
Well, down this section here, we'll get an indication. 3.64 down, and that's a bit of a surprise for the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
And it is a tight exit on 21.
Yeah, very tight.
But is it too much to ask to find anything like that kind of time on the bottom?
3.6 is a lot of time to make up, especially with only just this one upstream here. And she's done it okay, but not fantastically to make up a lot of time. So
Kudryova,
she'll be in the race lead
of the Czech Republic now. Outside the race lead, is it going to be good enough for a medal? It's outside of a medal, into 6th place for Kudryova of the Czech Republic. So with 3 boats still to go in this women's kayak final, well, it's coming alive, isn't it? Anna Satila leads for Brazil, 103.98. Then Eliška Mintalova of Slovakia is in 2nd. Kimberly Woods for Great Britain in 3rd. And the Czech Republic's Amelie Hilgertova lying in 4th place. But, 3 big names to go. And already a world-class time leading the way with Anna Satila's 103.98.
Yeah, this last 3 paddlers really have the potential to just go 1, 2 and 3, really. I mean, you look at the bibs, 3, 6 and 1. So it's got some definitely bona fide potential winners coming up, but it'll be very, very close. I think Anna Satila would like her chances for a medal for sure.
I think so. I think she can be pretty certain she's got a medal. The question is, what colour is it? And next up, it's the fastest raw time for the competition so far. It is Mallory Franklin of Great Britain on course. She has only done 1 World Cup this season, and she won that in Lee Valley. So what can she do here?
Solid start so far.
She was silver medalist at the European Championships. That's the other race that she's done this season.
Oh yeah, very nice. Quite tidy start. Nothing's really special, but keeping the boat quite straight there, which is good, not overturning. She's gone that forwards, and just taking a little bit more of that stopper than I think she intended. Slowed the boat down, and it's reflected there in that split.
So 0.58 down on Anna Satila of Brazil, and Anna was just so good. There's not many places to think that Anna wasn't good. She was good on the upstreams, and she was tidy on the downstreams. So Mallory Franklin, though, in touch, and certainly we'll get an indication between 18 and 19 as to where she stacks up.
It's a little bit low in that up. You can see she was slightly out of control, leaning on the back of the boat there, coming into up 16, so potentially a little bit of time lost there. I think if she's going to make up time anywhere, it's got to be this move here, 20 to 21. It's a potentially really smooth dry line. She's not quite got it, just using the wall is not bad, but she didn't quite get in as tight as some of the other girls have.
Well, it's still there or thereabouts if she can find this time, but it is Anna Satila who's looking stronger than ever to take the lead in with 2 more boats to go, And Great Britain's Mallory Franklin now coming towards the finish line. She'll be outside of the race leader, Ana Satila of Brazil. And the time has slipped away at the bottom into 4th place for Mallory Franklin. Slots in behind Kimberly Woods. So at the moment, Ana Satila of Brazil still leading, ahead of Eliška Mintalova of Slovakia. Kimberly Woods of Great Britain, and Brazil guaranteed a medal here. The question is, what colour?
Well done, Ana Satila. Really good to see her back on the podium, and I think Mallory Franklin just lost. She just lost that maybe a podium finish on that last upstream. She didn't quite get in as high as she probably would have liked.
Well, there's the top 3
sweeping it. So yeah.
And credit where credit's due. Top 6, all clean.
Yeah, we're not seeing anything like the C1 final with drama and errors. We're seeing, I guess it's still very dramatic, but in a different sense. It's just very clutch racing.
Well, 107 in the semi-finals was good enough for a top 3. At the moment, it's only good enough for 6th place.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of they've raised their game between semis and finals. That's what we like to see.
Yeah.
As an audience, the spectators, well, we react well to that. So 2 to go, and Eva Tersel of Slovenia is on course. Now, Eva, not only did she want to take this World Cup win here, but she is in the mix at the moment for the World Cup overall title. And Karina Kunla only sitting in 8th place at the moment, so this is a huge opportunity for Eva to snatch some valuable points.
She's done a really solid first 2 ups as well. That up 4 can be really tricky. It's on the boils, and it can shove you out a bit earlier than you intended. So she managed it well. Just about 1 second down now. So she's definitely in touch, and that's 1 second on the time that is winning by 1.5. So she's looking at first or second at the moment.
Well, she's had a really consistent season this season,
hasn't she?
And 3 finals from 4 races, and this her 4th final. So 4 from 5. That's pretty good in the sport of canoe slalom.
Yeah. That's a really impressive 4 out of 5 finals, and she's up now. So I think that up 16 was really fast that she did, and that's pretty tight as well.
21, it's good. So there's nothing to choose between Brazil's Ana Satila, who is our race leader in the clubhouse, so to speak, and it is Eva Tersel on course, but she did just make contact with the block, didn't she?
I think so. And
setting up for 23. No penalty for that, but that would have upset her a little bit.
And she fell quite a little bit low in that last upstream, so it maybe lost her the race win there.
Into second place. Well, that could be critical, into second place, because certainly now that means there's 7 places between her and Karina Kunla in the World Cup standings, and with double points up for grabs, that could move her quite well into, well, I think it does put her at this stage as our virtual overall World Cup leader.
Yeah.
But there's another big threat to come, and that's that Australian threat of Jessica Fox, who is our last to start.
Jess would be pretty familiar with going off last, I'm sure. So all eyes on her. See what she can do. That was a really good run all the way to that last upstream. I think just probably missing out on the overall lead in that last move.
And I think actually, I mean, that was an outstanding run from Eva Tersel. It highlights that Ana Satila's run really is something special, and well, if anyone can do something special to take the gold medal and her first win of the season in the World Cup standings, then it is this person here, Jessica Fox, the world number 1, the Olympic silver medalist from London, bronze medalist from Rio, 4-time world champion, is on course. The last boat on course who can spoil the Brazilian party.
Yeah. I mean, there's almost no title that she doesn't have, so she'll be looking for a win here. She knows how to win, obviously. We'll see how she goes. Yeah, that's very nice.
And we'll see Jessica in action tomorrow in the women's C1 category as well. comfortably through in the heats into those semi-finals. So Jessica now really attacking and
she's gone forwards
staying
everywhere.
ahead of the game. That is so critical, and she has the advantage. 0.42.
She really picked up a lot of speed in gate 8. She used the upstream edge of her boat to just grab a bit of water and kick her downstream. It was really, really good paddling.
Wow, that was good on 13 as well.
Yeah.
Jessica Fox looks like she's actually extending the advantage, and I think Anna
Anna knows that.
Satila showing that too.
Oh, that's going to be good. Yeah, in and out on the sweep. I think this is where Jess usually goes turbo. She's a really fit athlete, so she can always push it hard at the end, and she's now 1.2 up.
Wow, this is a demonstration of how to do it on 21. Jessica Fox of Australia is a 4-time world champion for a reason. That's because she is a class act. She's the most successful paddler in the history of the sport at championship level. And Jessica Fox surely is going to take her first win in the World Cup this season. And really, how timely is that as she goes towards the World? Not quite, but wow, 101.11. Jessica Fox of Australia, well done. What a performance. And take the gold medal here.
Wow, that was... She has annihilated that bottom section. That 20 to 21, I think, was massive gains compared to the other girls. Way quicker. And then, yeah, she's just done another classic Jess Fox. And what a finish! Like, I think she was 105 in the semi-final, around about. So now 101. So not many paddlers can improve their time by 4 seconds between semi and final. So well done, Jess.
Well done, Jess, because by my calculations, she has snatched the World Cup title for 2019 because, she was trailing on Karina Kundler by 22 points.
Yeah.
And I think Karina Kundler finishes 10th. And on double points, that puts Jessica Fox into the World Cup title. Ava Tersel, does move up the order with her 3rd place, but Jessica Fox will leapfrog Ava, and by my reckoning it'll be Fox, Tersel, then Kundler.
Oh, high drama. That is, what a finish. Oh wow, that was impressive racing. Look, no penalties all the way down to 9th place. So.
Well, quality women's kayak final here. Jessica Fox takes the win with a class run 101. Wow. Anna Satila in 2nd. Ava Tersel in 3rd for Slovenia. And, it all goes to the wire in the World Cup overall standings.
And sorry.
Well, an absolutely breathless Jessica Fox is here. Jessica, that obviously meant a lot to you, that win today.
Incredible feeling on the water in that final, and I knew that there'd been a good time put down, so I just really wanted to improve on that semi-final run and attack it a bit more, and I was just so happy at the finish. It was just relief and satisfaction to have done what I'd visualised, I guess.
And we believe that was enough for you to retain your overall World Cup standing in the K1, which must be a fantastic result for you as well.
I wasn't really aware of the points before the race, so that's great news. It's been a pretty consistent season, a few disappointing results, but overall, look, really pleased to finish off this way.
Nice to get a win before the World Champs.
Yeah, that's always nice. There's a few girls missing, but look, it's nice for the confidence. It's nice to feel good and deliver in the final when it's quite a hot final. So, look, really pleased and looking forward to C1 tomorrow.
Great stuff. Well done, Jess.
Thank you.
Well, great to see there. Jessica Fox of Australia, and her first win of the season in the ICF World Cup. And, long overdue in some ways, and 5 different winners across the 5 races of the season. That was the same in the men's C1. Such is the competition, and that gives us, the spectators, a real feast to watch.
That was what a final. Very much lived up to everything I could have hoped for.
Yeah, and I think credit for Ana Satila for Brazil, because 103.98, then, on many days, that would have been enough for gold.
Yeah.
But Jessica Fox found something else in the toolbox, and then she went up another level.
Yeah, she really did. You could see in that interview, though, she's definitely aware of the absence of Ricarda Funk. She's obviously very happy with the win, but saying there's still hot competition all over the place. So
yeah, and 3 weeks' time, all the top athletes will be in Sao for those World Championships. You can follow that on Planet Canoe. But hopefully in a moment we get the World Cup standings, and the anticipation.
Whoa.
Surely, there we go. Jessica Fox snatches the World Cup in the final. 278 points. Ava Tersel for Slovenia in second, and then Karina Kunle, the race leader after 4, goes into third place. So well done, Jessica Fox, right on time going into the World Championships. A win and a win in the World Cup. Well, from here in Prague in the Czech Republic, that's it for us today. But of course, we'll be back tomorrow with the semi-finals and finals. We start with the women's C1 at 0900 Central European time in the semi-finals. Then it's the men's K1 from myself, Andy Maddock, and Tim Anderson from the Australian team. It's been an exciting finals from day one of semi-finals and finals.
Sure has. Thanks very much, Andy.
So we'll see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock Central European time for the women's C1, then the men's K1 semi-finals. But don't forget as well, here in Prague we will have the ICF Canoe Slalom Extreme Canoe Slalom World Championships, and they will be live 4:30 Central European time tomorrow, Sunday. So lots more action to come, but it is gold for the Australian team with Jessica Fox, and in the men's C1 it is gold for Slovakia, Matej Benus. We'll see you tomorrow.
today. It's been a while since you won a gold medal at a World Cup.
Áno, už sú to 2 roky, čo som vyhral naposledy svetový pohár a som strašne šťastný, lebo je to aj naša olympijská